Namaskaram students, fundamentals of organic chemistry. In that one, today we are going to learn the reduction of elements. What is organic means? It is a living thing. The main basic element in living thing is carbon. So afterward hydrogen. So these two are the principal elements of the living things. Afterward they contain nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, halogens, phosphorus, etc. In this video we are going to see that elements are present in that compound, how to find out that elements, that is called as deduction. So deduction of elements means to find out the elements, what are the elements present in that organic compound. That test we are going to learn in this video.
Organic compound contain carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. They must contain these three elements. So they are called as principal element. And along with that they may contain means sometimes some compounds have these elements, some compounds may not have these elements. What are all they means? Nitrogen, sulfur, halogen and phosphorus. Then some organic compound contain metal, that are lithium, magnesium, zinc. That organic compound are called as organometallic compound. So in this lesson we are going to see the deduction of element. Deduction means finding that element, whether the elements are present in the organic compound or not. This is the first step in analysis of organic compound, which means deduction of elements. Organic compound means it is a carbon compound. So the test for reduction of carbon is the whether the compound is a organic or not. Then few compounds, for example carbon tetrachloride, here there is no hydrogen is present, and carbon disulfide, here also hydrogen is not present. So all the compounds, organic compounds, they contain carbon, but few compounds they never contain hydrogen. So but both the carbon and hydrogen, both the one present in the organic compound. So we have one common test to find out the presence of these carbon and hydrogen. That common test we will see in the next slide. See the diagram first. In that diagram, the test tube which is landing, that test tube contain organic substance and 3 times dry copper oxide is mixed. Afterward, it is fitted with the delivery tube. In middle of the delivery tube, it contain one pulp. That pulp is filled with anhydrous copper sulfate, and another end of the delivery tube is immersed in the lime water. After heating, we will see that the pulp containing anhydrous copper sulfate turns into blue color. Anhydrous copper sulfate color is white. After the reaction, we see that the anhydrous copper sulfate turns into blue color, and then the lime water, that is turned into milky. Why it is happen? So you see the reaction. In the first reaction, organic compound, primarily it contains carbon, we know very well. The carbon reacted with the copper oxide CuO, it oxidized to carbon dioxide, and then we get copper. That carbon dioxide reacted with the lime water and it turns into milky. Now see that in the right hand side, the carbon dioxide lime water formula is CaOH twice. Why it is turned into milky means it formed the calcium carbonate, so that it turns into milky. Then another byproduct water will be given. The next one, organic compound not only having carbon. Suppose the hydrogen is present means the hydrogen reacted with the copper oxide. Now you see the second reaction, the hydrogen is reacted with this copper oxide. The hydrogen is oxidized to water. Along with that, copper will be produced. Then the water, it travels in the delivery tube. That delivery tube containing anhydrous. What is the meaning of anhydrous? Means it is a waterless substance. That waterless substance, when the water is passed, means it absorbs the water. After absorbing the water, the colorless copper sulfate turns into blue color. Now see the reaction, last reaction, copper sulfate. What is the color of copper sulfate? White. CuSO4 color is white. Then the 5 moles of water is absorbed by that anhydrous copper sulfate. It gives blue color of hydrate. Hydrate means water is added. How many water is added? 5 moles of water is added. So here now CuSO4 5 moles of water. The color of compound is blue color, and name of this compound is copper sulfate pentahydrate. So from this test we can conclude that the organic compound contains carbon and hydrogen, means it turns the lime water milky, and then it turns the unhydrated copper sulfate white color to blue color. Why this happen? Carbon turn into carbon dioxide during the reaction. The carbon dioxide turns the lime water milky, and then during the reaction water will be formed. The water changed the anhydrous copper sulfate. Anhydrous copper sulfate color is white color into blue color. To find out the elements nitrogen, sulfur, halogen that are present in the organic compound, before that we have to prepare one extract. That name of the extract is lysicnate extract or sodium fusion extract. Why we have to prepare this extract means we know very well organic compounds are covalent compounds, so that the nitrogen, sulfur, halogens are covalently bonded with that compound. That nitrogen, sulfur, halogens we have to change as a water soluble ion in the form of sodium salt in this lysicnate extract. So first step in the lysicnate extract is we have to take the small piece of sodium metal. The sodium metal is a more reactive metal, so that they are kept in the oil. So we taken out the sodium metal from oil and then dried by pressing between the filter paper. After that the sodium metal taken in the fusion tube. That fusion tube means it is a very small tube. It is not a test tube. Test tube is a big one, but fusion tube is a smallest test tube. So in that fusion tube, and then it is heated gently, then it is changed into shining globule. After that we are going to add the organic compound. See the first diagram. In the fusion tube that contains sodium metal as well as organic compound, then the test tube is heated to red hot. This is the first step. Then the second step, that fusion tube is now dropped into 50 ml of distilled water. The distilled water is taken in a china dish. In that china dish the fusion tube is breaked, and then now the china dish containing the breaked compounds of breaked fusion tubes, that contents are heated. It is a third step. What is that means? The boiling the contents of the dish for the 10 minutes. Afterward the fourth step is filtrate. China dish containing the compound is now we are going to filter. That filtrate is called as, I indicate in red color, in test tube containing some filtrate noma. Using this filtrate only we are going to do some reactions, do some test. Through the test only we will conclude whether the compound containing nitrogen, sulfur, halogens are present or not. This test is performed to find out the nitrogen is present or not. First of all, the lysicnate filtrate we prepared noma. Along with the lysicnate filtrate, first of all the ferrous sulfate FeSO4 is added. Afterward ferric ion Fe3 plus is called as ferric ion, followed by concentrated HCl is added, means we get Prussian blue color or green color precipitate. You see the picture. In that picture two test tube is present. One is blue color, that is called as Prussian blue. Another one is green color. That green color precipitate we are getting. Why we are getting means that the ferrous sulfate FeSO4 reacted with the excess of sodium hydroxide, that is we getting from the lysignate extract. That sodium hydroxide reacted with the FeSO4, it produced the ferrous hydroxide. The color of the ferrous hydroxide is greenish precipitate. That greenish precipitate is dissolved by adding HCl. So we get only the Prussian blue precipitate. If we get the Prussian blue precipitate means the organic compound containing nitrogen along with the carbon and hydrogen, the compound contain nitrogen means it produce Prussian blue color. Now see the reaction. First reaction, sodium along with the carbon. Sodium, how we get ma? In the lysignate filtrate, first of all, what metal we added? The sodium metal only we added. So that in lysignate filtrate, surely it contains sodium metal. Then it is organic compound, so that carbon. Then that organic compound contain nitrogen means we have that nitrogen also reacted with the sodium plus carbon. It gives NaCN. The compound name is sodium cyanide. Then the sodium cyanide, then afterward the ferrous sulfate, we now in this reaction we are going to add the ferrous sulfate. That ferrous sulfate reacted with the sodium hydroxide. How do we get the sodium hydroxide means the sodium metal reacted with the water, it produced some sodium hydroxide. So that sodium hydroxide first of all reacted with the ferrous sulfate, it gives ferrous hydroxide. FeOH twice is called as ferrous hydroxide and also sodium sulfate. How the reaction we get means first of all the ferrous sulfate you split it as Fe 2 plus SO4 2 minus and sodium hydroxide Na plus OH minus. Then positive character reacted with the negative. Which one is negative in the first one? SO4 2 minus. And which one is positive in the second one? Na plus. Both are reacted with each other. We get Na2SO4. The same way iron Fe3 plus Fe2 plus, it reacted with the OH minus. It gives FeOH twice. So the next one, now the sodium cyanide, it reacted with the ferrous hydroxide. What is the product we get in the second reaction? That is reacted with the first reaction product. We get the sodium ferrocyanide. See the formula, sodium ferrocyanide Na4FeCN6. That FeCN6, CN6 we have to put in the bracket. Then along with that we get the sodium hydroxide. First that compounds, how they reacted means each and every compound having positive and negative character. The first compound having positive character is reacted with the negative of the second reactant. The same way the second reactant containing positive ion, that is reacted with the negative of the first compound. So that only we are getting the product. Then now we get the sodium ferrocyanide noma. What is the formula for sodium ferrocyanide? Na4FeCN6. That is reacted with the ferric chloride. FeCl3 form is called as ferric chloride. Don't memorize all the numbers. Formula first you memorize. Afterward we will see the balancing of the reaction. During the balancing only we will put the number in front of the each and every formula. That sodium ferrocyanide, in front of that we put the 3 noma. The same way FeCl3 is a ferric chloride, in front of that 4 is put. That 4, 3 or the balancing purpose only we put the number. Don't memorize this number. That number we will see later. Now the sodium ferrocyanide is reacted with the ferric chloride. It gives ferric ferrocyanide. See the formula, ferric ferrocyanide Fe4FeCN6 thrice. Color of this compound is Prussian blue color or green precipitate. Along with that we get the sodium chloride. In below that I given how the formula of the each and every compound is derived. I given below that. You see that sodium cyanide. Sodium valency is +1, cyanide valency is -1. Crisscrossing is applied means we get NaCN. And ferrous sulfate. Ferrous means Fe2 plus is the valency of ferrous and SO4 always -2. Then 2 2 is the common means we cross that one, we get +1 -1. So that formula of ferrous sulfate is FeSO4. And ferrous hydroxide, ferrous means +2 is a valency and OH is OH is a hydroxide, that hydroxide having valency -1. After crisscrossing is applied means we get the ferrous hydroxide formula FeOH twice. And then sodium hydroxide, sodium is +1 and OH is -1. Crisscross method applied means we get the formula NaOH. Then sodium sulfate, sodium +1, sulfate -2. Crisscross method applied means we get the formula for sodium sulfate is Na2SO4. Then sodium +1 we know, and FeCN6 form, that is we have -4. So -4 crisscross method applied means we get Na4FeCN6. And ferric chloride, Fe is +3, Cl is -1. Crisscross method is applied means we get FeCl3. The next one, Fe is valency is +3, but FeCN6 it have the valency -4. After crisscrossing method is applied means we get the formula Fe4 FeCN6 square bracket thrice. Now organic compound contain nitrogen along with that sulfur is present means if we add ferric chloride with sodium lysacnate filtrate or sodium extract, we get blood red color. Through this blood red color we can find out that the organic compound contain nitrogen and then sulfur. Now you see the reaction. The organic compound containing nitrogen and sulfur means along with the carbon, first of all it reacts with the sodium of the sodium fusion extract. It produces sodium sulfocyanide. Formula for sodium sulfocyanide is NaCnS. How we derive this formula means the sodium is +1. Valency of sodium is +1. CnS valency is -1. After crisscrossing method applied means we get the formula for sodium sulfocyanide is NaCnS. Then the NaCnS now reacted with the ferric chloride, which is added by us. FeCl3 is the ferric chloride That ferric chloride react with the sodium sulfocyanide, it gives ferric sulfocyanide. Formula for ferric sulfocyanide is FeCnS thrice. How do we get this formula? I derived in the below of this reaction. Iron Fe is having +3 means that is called as ferric. And then CnS valency is -1. After crisscrossing is applied means we get FeCnS thrice. The color of this compound is blood red color. And then we get sodium chloride. How do this product means? The sodium sulfocyanide, which one is positive? Sodium is a positive character and CnS is a negative character. And ferric chloride, Fe is a having positive character and Cl is having negative character. So the positive character attract the negative character of the first reactant. So first reactant, which one is negative? CnS is a negative character. So that only we get ferric sulfocyanide. The same way, the first reactant, sodium is a positive character. In the second reactant, chlorine is a negative character. Both the one react with each other gives sodium chloride. Now we are going to find out the sulfur is present in the organic compound or not. There are so many tests. The first test is the lysacnate extract. It contains sodium metal, we know very well. Along with that sulfur present means it gives sodium sulfide. Formula is Ne2S. In the first test, the lysacnate extract is added with the sodium nitroprusside. Formula is Na2FeCN5NO. Then it gives deep violet or purple by producing the compound sodium pentacyanidonitrile sulfidoferrate. Formula of this compound is just you are going to add both the reactant. What is that? Sodium sulfide and sodium nitroprusside. Now you see that sodium sulfide, it contains 2 sodium and sodium nitroprusside, it contains 2 sodium. That is we get Na4. And afterward inside the square bracket what we are having in nitroprusside FeCN5NO. Along with that you just add the sulfur from the sodium sulfide. These compound only give the deep violet or purple color. From this deep violet or purple color, we can conclude that organic compound it contains sulfur. The next test, we have to take the another portion of lysine extract. In that lysine extract, we first of all add the acetic acid. Afterward, you add lead acetate. Lead acetate formula CH3COO twice Pb. Then the lead acetate it reacts with the sodium sulfide. The sodium sulfide which is present in the lysine extract. So reacted with each other it gives lead sulfide PbS. It is a black color precipitate and then it gives sodium acetate CH3COO. From the black precipitate we can conclude that the organic compound contains sulfur. The next test, oxidation test. In this test, the organic compound is reacted with the potassium nitrate and sodium carbonate. The organic compound sulfur is present means that sulfur it is oxidized to sodium sulfate. That sodium sulfate now it is reacted with the first it is acidified with the HCl. Afterward barium chloride BaCl2 is added means we get the barium sulfate BaSO4 as a white precipitate. Along with the byproduct is sodium chloride is produced, but the white precipitate indicate that the sulfur is present in the organic compound. These tests we are going to perform to find out the halogens are present in the organic compound or not. First of all, the lysine filtrate is added with the dilute nitric acid HNO3 and warm gently, and then afterward we add silver nitrate solution. If the lysine filtrate it contains halogen means halogens how can we indicate it means X. It produces the halide. NaX is called a sodium halide. NaCl means it is called as sodium chloride. NaBr means it is called as sodium bromide. NaI means it is called as sodium iodide. So the halogens are present in the organic compound means first of all the halogens are reacted with the sodium metal. It produces sodium halide. Then afterward the sodium halide reacted with the silver nitrate. It gives different colors precipitate. Now one by one we will see that sodium chloride it reacted with the silver nitrate means it gives AgCl. AgCl means silver chloride. It is a white precipitate. That white precipitate is soluble in ammonia. Along with that we get the byproduct sodium nitrate. Suppose we contain bromine means that bromine reacted with the sodium it gives sodium bromide NaBr. That sodium bromide reacted with the silver nitrate it gives AgBr and sodium nitrate. The AgBr color is silver bromide color is pale yellow precipitate. That pale yellow precipitate strongly soluble in ammonia. Suppose we have iodine in that organic compound means first of all it produces sodium iodide. That sodium iodide reacted with the silver nitrate it gives silver iodide. Color of this compound is yellow precipitate and that yellow precipitate not soluble in ammonia. Now if the organic compound contain nitrogen as well as sulfur along with the halogens means we have to give nitric acid and then warm gently. Why we are putting this nitric acid before the silver nitrate means that suppose we don't put the nitric acid mean what will happen means you see the right hand side third reaction the sodium cyanide. How do we get sodium cyanide? The nitrogen compound having organic compound means first of all with the lysine filtrate it gives sodium cyanide. That sodium cyanide reacted with the silver nitrate it gives silver cyanide along with the sodium nitrate. The silver cyanide color is white precipitate. Now only we see that silver chloride precipitate color is white. So that white is confused with the silver cyanide precipitate. Both the one white how can we find out whether the compound containing chlorine or nitrogen? So that only we have to put the nitric acid. The nitric acid what will you do means the sodium cyanide reacted with the nitric acid. See the right hand side the first reaction NaCN is sodium cyanide. It reacts with the silver nitrate. It gives sodium nitrate NaNO3 plus hydrogen cyanide. It is a gas, so it is expelled out. Now the nitrogen is removed by hydrogen cyanide with the help of nitric acid. The same way, suppose the sulfur is present in the organic compound, mean first of all it produces the sodium sulfide with the lactic filtrate. That filtrate without nitric acid means first of all it reacts with the silver nitrate. See the last reaction, it produces the black precipitate silver sulfide. That black precipitate, if it produced means we can't see the other precipitate clearly, so that we have to remove this sodium sulfide with the help of nitric acid. See the right hand side second reaction. On heating, it produces sodium nitrate NaNO3 along with that H2S. What is H2S means? Hydrogen sulfide. It also expelled out because it is a gas. From that we can remove the sulfur also. So we can concluded whether the halogens are present or not with help of nitric acid. By the nitric acid remove the nitrogen and then sulfur as a hydrogen cyanide gas and hydrogen sulfide gas. Test for phosphorus. Here the organic compound is heated with the sodium carbonate and potassium carbonate. Na2CO3 is a sodium carbonate and KNO3 is a potassium carbonate. The phosphorus present in the organic compound means it is oxidized to sodium phosphate. See the first reaction, sodium carbonate formula Na2CO3. The organic compound contain phosphorus means it is oxidized to sodium phosphate. Na3PO4 formula is sodium phosphate. That sodium phosphate is reacted with nitric acid. Concentrated nitric acid on boiling, it gives phosphoric acid. H3PO4 means phosphoric acid. Along with that we get NaNO3 sodium nitrate. Then this phosphoric acid now reacted with the ammonium molybdate. Ammonium molybdate formula NH4 twice MOO4. Then along with the nitric acid we get the ammonium phosphomolybdate. The color of the compound is canary color or precipitate. So canary yellow color or precipitate. From that canary yellow color we can conclude that the organic compound contains phosphorus. So far we studied deduction of elements. Now we are going to study the estimation of elements. Estimation means we are find out the amount of elements present in the organic compound. First of all we are going to estimate what is the percentage of carbon and hydrogen present in the organic compound with the help of one test. Before that we have to see the apparatus. The apparatus containing three parts. One is for the oxygen supply. That oxygen supply means the oxygen should be free from the moisture and then carbon dioxide. So that first of all it is passed through sulfuric acid. The sulfuric acid, which one is passed through sulfuric acid? The oxygen is passed through sulfuric acid to remove the moisture. Afterward it passed through soda lime to remove carbon dioxide. Now the oxygen gas is free from moisture and carbon dioxide. Now that oxygen is enter into the combustion tube. The second part is combustion tube. You see the blue color horizontal tube, that is called as combustion tube. See the diagram. That combustion tube, it contains four parts. The first part is CuO case, that is oxidized copper case. This one prevent the backward diffusion of the product of the combustion. The product produced means that product never comes to first end, that is prevented by this copper cage. Then second part is porcelain board, that contains the known weight of organic substance. The second part is the sample is placed in the platinum board. And third part is coarse CuO. Coarse means it is a bulk copper oxide. The bulk copper oxide it is present in the either side, front side or back side. The next one, the fourth part is oxidized copper cage once again is present in the end of the combustion tube. Then third part of the apparatus is absorption apparatus. It contains three part A, B, C. A means it contain U tube. That U tube is packed with concentrated sulfuric acid, that is absorb the water. And B, that B U tube, it contains potassium hydroxide. That potassium hydroxide absorb the carbon dioxide. And C is the gourd tube. It filled with anhydrous calcium chloride. It that anhydrous calcium chloride, it prevent the moisture from the atmosphere. It enter into the end of that tube to combustion tube. With the help of gourd tube, we will prevent the moisture from the atmosphere that should not be enter into the combustion tube. So these are all present in the apparatus. Estimation of carbon and hydrogen, it is performed with the help of combustion tube. What is combustion reaction? Combustion reaction means the compound is heated in the presence of oxygen, that is called as combustion reaction. Here the organic compound is heated with the oxygen, it produce the carbon with the oxygen, it produce carbon dioxide. Hydrogen with the oxygen, it produce water. That carbon dioxide is absorbed by the potassium hydroxide, that is taken in the U tube after the combustion tube. The same way the water produced during the combustion reaction, that water is absorbed by the U tube containing pumice stone. It is stored in concentrated sulfuric acid. So initially we have to find out these U tube without carbon dioxide and without water. Afterward, after the combustion reaction is completed, again we have to weigh that U tube, which one is containing the pumice stone containing concentrated sulfuric acid. It absorbs the water. Through initial and final difference, we can calculate the amount of water produced during that combustion reaction. The same way, the potash hydroxide, it absorbs the carbon dioxide NOMA. So initially there is no carbon dioxide produced. That weight of potassium hydroxide we have to calculate first. After the combustion reaction, the carbon dioxide is absorbed by the potassium hydroxide. Now the weight of the potassium hydroxide is increases. So initial and final difference we can calculate. It means the difference give the weight of carbon dioxide. Now in this slide the procedure is given. What is the procedure means? First of all, the combustion tube, the horizontal tube is called as combustion tube. Please refer the previous slide, the diagram. The combustion tube should be free from moisture or any other gases, so that it is heated strongly. Afterward, the apparatus of absorption apparatus is attached in the left hand side, and then the U tube containing potassium hydroxide, not calcium chloride, gourd tube, that gourd tube, and then U tube containing pumice stone, all the one is attached with the combustion tube. After performing that reaction, it takes 2 hours for the completion. Afterward, we will remove that U tube and find out the weight increment. Through the weight increment, we can calculate the percentage of carbon and hydrogen. We will see the upcoming slide. Now we are going to find out the percentage of carbon and percentage of hydrogen through this calculation. Before that, for the calculation, we have to take the weight of organic substances, W gram. The increment of water through the U tube, what is the weight of water means X gram. Then weight of carbon dioxide, Y gram, through the increment of that potassium hydroxide U tube. Now the molecular weight of water. Water formula is H2O. In that water 2 hydrogen is present. Atomic weight of hydrogen is 1. 2 into 1 plus oxygen atomic weight is 16. So we get 18 gram per mole. And molecular weight of carbon dioxide. The carbon is only one carbon is present, so 12 into 1 plus how many oxygen? 2 oxygen, so 2 into 6. Afterward adding we get 44 gram per mole. Now the molecular weight of water is 18 gram. Molecular weight of carbon dioxide is 44 gram. Then water molecular weight is 18 gram. That 18 gram of water contain how many gram of hydrogen? It contains 2 gram of hydrogen because the water to hydrogen is present, so 2 gram of hydrogen. Then we get the water weight x gram. That x gram of water contains how many gram of hydrogen means 2 divided by 18 into x gram of hydrogen. Then this water we get from the organic substance only. We get the water from the organic substance. So what is the weight of organic substance? W. The W gram of organic substance now containing how many gram of hydrogen means the above one we have to write. Which one is 2 divided by 18 into x gram of hydrogen. Now we are going to calculate percentage of percentage of hydrogen. So percentage means what pa? Percentage means 100. So for that 100 gram of organic compound contains that above one, along with that you have to write 2 divided by 18 into x divided by w into 100. The 100 we are putting that because we are finding the percentage. So this value is called as percentage of hydrogen. Which one is called the percentage of hydrogen? 2 divided by 18. 18 from the molecular weight of water, 2 is the weight of hydrogen, and x is the weight of water, and w is the weight of organic compound, and 100 we are putting there, it is the to find out the percentage of hydrogen. The next one, carbon dioxide. What is the molecular weight of carbon dioxide? 44 gram. In that 44 gram of carbon dioxide, the carbon weight is 12 gram because it contains only one carbon, so that 12 gram of carbon. And then we from the calculation we get how many gram of carbon dioxide? Y gram of carbon dioxide. That y gram of carbon dioxide contains 12 divided by 44 into y gram of carbon. This carbon dioxide we get from the organic substance only, so that the organic substance weight W gram of organic compound contains 12 divided by 14 into y gram of carbon. Then we have to find out for percentage mass, so that we are putting 100 gram of organic compound contains 12 divided by 44 into y divided by w into 100. Here 12 is the weight of carbon, 44 is the molecular weight of carbon dioxide, y is the weight of carbon dioxide, w is the weight of organic substance, and 100 we are putting here to find out the percentage of carbon. This is the calculation of hydrogen and carbon. This problem, the weight of organic substance is given as 0.2346 gram, and weight of water is given as 0.2754 gram, and weight of carbon dioxide is given as 0.4488 gram. First of all, a molecular weight of water 18 gram. In that 18 gram of water, the weight of hydrogen is 2 gram. So first line, 18 gram of water contains 2 gram of hydrogen. Afterward, what is the water of weight here? 0.2754 gram. That weight of water contains how many gram of hydrogen? Means 2 divided by 18 into 0.2754 gram. That this water we get from the organic substance only. So here the organic substance weight is given as 0.2346 gram. That organic compounds now contains how many gram of hydrogen? Means 2 divided by 18 into 0.2754 gram of hydrogen. Afterward we have to find out for percentage. For percentage purpose only, now we are going to find out 100 gram of organic compound contains 2 divided by 18 into 0.2754 divided by 0.2346. Here the 0.2754 is the weight of water, 0.2346 is the weight of organic substance into 100. After calculating we get the percentage of hydrogen is 13.04 percentage. The next one, carbon dioxide weight, molecular weight. What is the molecular weight of carbon dioxide? 44 gram. In that 44 gram, the carbon weight is 12 gram. So we are going to write the word 44 gram of carbon dioxide contains 12 gram of carbon. Then the carbon dioxide weight is given as 0.4488 gram. This gram of carbon dioxide contains how many gram of carbon means 12 divided by 44 into 0.4488 gram of carbon. This weight of carbon dioxide we get from the organic substance only. So that we are now correlating this amount with 0.2346 gram of organic compound. Then 100 gram of organic compound. Why we are calculating? Because of finding the percentage. Then we get 100 gram of organic compound contains 12 divided by 44 into 0.4488 gram divided by 0.2346 into 100. After calculating we get the percentage of carbon 52.17 percentage. Now see that the percentage of hydrogen is 13.04 percentage. Percentage of carbon is 52.17. Roughly you added means it is less than 100. So remaining percentage, what is that? Means it is a percentage of oxygen. How we calculate the percentage of oxygen means just we add the percentage of carbon and hydrogen and then you subtract from the 100. Why you particularly subtract from 100 means it is percentage. Percentage means 100. So subtract from 100 we get remaining amount means that is it is related to percentage of oxygen. So to estimate the oxygen percentage means there is no separate test for estimation of oxygen. Only we will find the percentage of oxygen by difference method. What is difference method means? It is calculated by subtracting the percentage of carbon and hydrogen from 100. That is called as difference method.